Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us for our TM7 demonstration tonight. Tonight, we are going to have a look at the TM7. We're going to have some good questions from the crowd. We've got some good questions in the registration, and I'm going to show you some stuff that you can do in the TM7. Tonight, very simple, quick dinner, which is the chicken teriyaki. So it is from the Skinny Mixers collection. So are you girls Skinny Mixers fans? I think you are, aren't you, Jen? A little bit, yeah. I'm very late to the Skinny Mixers bandwagon. However, it turns out that I actually had been cooking a couple of the things all the time that had been on Cookidoo, even though when I went to her cooking class, I was like, oh, I haven't really cooked anything from Skinny Mixers. And my boss was like, you cook the chicken teriyaki all the time. That's Skinny Mixers. You love the chicken Kievs. That's Skinny Mixers. I'm like, oh, okay. Chunky bolognese. That's Skinny Mixers. So anyway, I am a fan of the recipes. Really nice, tasty recipes, and we're getting a few of them on Cookidoo, so that's good as well. But before we get started, we will let you know how much the Thermomix is. So it is $2,649. There are lots of different payment options available, and I will go through those at the end of the demo. And you actually get everything that you see there on the screen. There are no actual accessories or extra bits that you have to buy for the TM7 yet. We do know that we do have a cutter and spiralizer coming for the TM7, but it will be down the track. Not it's not here, it's not even in the country or even have a date yet. So that will be something coming soon for the TM7. The other thing I want to mention before I get started are there's 3 ways to cook in your TM7. So in the modes, Shane, I just have to, Shane's here doing the computer for me. I have got help tonight. So within your TM7, there's 3 ways of cooking. So you can cook manually, you can cook guided, or you can cook on using the modes. So the manual cooking would be if you did have like a Skinny Mixers recipe book, and back to me, please, Rigo. Thank you so much. The manual would be if you had a Skinny Mixers book and it wasn't on Cookidoo, so it wasn't programmed into your Thermomix, you'd actually have to pop in the time, temperature, and speed of each of the steps, which is what we call manual cooking, which is not really manual, but that's what we call it. The guided cooking is what you probably would mostly do in your TM7, and that's where what I'm doing tonight. And that's where you actually go into a recipe and you go step by step through it, and it just tells you everything to do, sets everything for you. You literally can't go wrong. Okay, that's guided cooking. That's pretty much what I do 99.9% of the time. And then we've also got modes. So if you were just winging it, and you wanted to blend something, or you wanted to do egg boiling, or what's another mode? Slow cooking, or sous videing, or something like that. You'd go into your mode and you'd just wing it yourself if you didn't have a recipe. Okay, so that's your 3 options for the way you cook with your Thermomix. Let's have a look at the screen. Can you do? Oh gosh, you can read my mind. Love it. Um, we're connected. So these are the 2 recipes I was tossing up between tonight. So I was either going to do the chicken chorizo and chickpea stew or the chicken teriyaki, and I went with the chicken teriyaki. The chickpea stew is really yummy too. But go back to the screen. Sorry, Shane, I was talking too much. What we do is we just click on the recipe that we want to cook, and then when you go into the recipe, you can scroll down and it gives you like your ingredients and like useful items, anything that would be like in a cookbook, um, if you had the recipe in a cookbook, your preparation steps, all of that, okay? Or if you didn't want to be someone that was organized and get your ingredients out, you could just hit start, and then what it does is it just goes to the first step, and it tells you to lift the lid. See how it's saying to lift the lid there? So I'll take the lid off. Thank you, Shane. And I'll start cooking. And that's how easy it is to get started cooking in your Thermomix. So I'll just get my pre-prepped ingredients over here as well, because it's always handy to have those. Make sure you just chime in with any questions, girls, as we go. You can pop them in the chat, or you can come off mute and yell at me. Rightio. So the first step of this recipe is to put in the olive oil. Now, the scales automatically tear themselves back to 0. And we will put in 10 grams of oil like that. A little bit extra is okay, which is my favorite thing to say when I'm cooking in the Thermomix. And I just give that a tick. Yes, I've done that. We're good to go. And now I'm going to put in my chicken thighs. Now I've just sliced these up and into like bite-sized pieces. And I'm going to put my lid on. I'm going to tick my chicken thighs. I'm going to say next. And then because I'm in a guided recipe, it knows that I'm going to do 5 minutes, 160 degrees intense, which is like our high heat mode. And I'm going to hit play. Now, this is now cooking for me. This is where your time saving starts. So if you were browning that chicken on the stove, you would have to stay there with your chicken turning it. You've now got 5 minutes where you could go and do something else. And you know how us mums can get lots done in 5 minutes. So you could chop up all these. Oh, you can't see them because of the screen there. Oh, thanks, Rigo. I've chopped up all these. It took me less than 5 minutes to do this. So you literally, in this recipe, you could do 5 minutes of chopping while this was cooking. So that's the go. Now, the other thing I'll say about this recipe, and lots of the recipes in the Thermomix, is this is only 2 chicken thigh fillets, and you'll be really surprised by how much food this makes. You could double it if you wanted to, but this is all we're having for tea tonight. So you'll be really surprised by how far this actually makes 2 chicken thigh fillets go, and so how reasonably priced this meal would be as well. I didn't actually keep my receipt today, but it was not that much. How's that for a really, I've really analysed the cost of this meal, and it was not that much, okay? So just trust me. And we've been joined by Joe Picton. Hi, Joe Picton. How welcome. We've got another consultant, sorry? Oh, team leader now. Sorry. Rigo just corrected me, Joe. We've got another team leader joining us. He's right onto it. Excellent. Sorry, Joe Picton is the team leader for the Grafton Clarence area. Um, so thanks for joining us, Joe. Please chime in if I'm missing anything. But we don't have very long in this recipe to talk about all the things. So let me what am I going to talk about? Cookidoo. Cookidoo is probably the next thing I want to talk about. No, not that one, Rigo. That one. Thanks, darling. So Cookidoo, which I've alluded to Cookidoo a couple of times. Cookidoo is the recipe platform for all the recipes that have been made for the TM6, TM7 that are basically available on your TM7 machine for you. Now, Cookidoo, all the recipes are triple tried and triple tested. So they all work 100% of the time. And for Cookidoo, we pay $89 a year for a subscription to that. When you first get your Thermomix, you get 3 months for free. And Zoe, as a brand new person, hop onto Cookidoo while you're waiting for your Thermomix, because you will be coming. Oh, thank you. There's a delay. Hop onto Cookidoo and start your free trial, because you also get 1 month for free, like when you first start as well. So you end up with 4 months, and then after the 4 months, you pay your $89 a year. So the benefit of having Cookidoo, obviously, just next, and all the recipes are in here. That is one really good part of Cookidoo. But my favorite part is the meal planning. So within Cookidoo, in the app, you actually, you can't really see there. No, you can't. That picture doesn't really show it, doll. But I had another picture that had a week. I'll have to get that back out. But basically, within Cookidoo, you can say what you want to cook for the whole week. You then can go into your shopping list and add those things of which ones you want to shop for. Then you get your shopping list on your phone. You go to your pantry. You tick off what you've already got, and then you're left with a list of what you need to buy. Now, with what you need to buy, you can either text that to yourself or to your husband, or you can connect to Woolworths and do the Woolworths online click and collect or delivery for your groceries. So the actual meal planning function of Cookidoo is definitely my favorite thing about Cookidoo. It really saves people a lot of time, but a lot of money, because you know how when you're just going to Woolies and you don't know what you're going to have and you're just walking around aimlessly throwing stuff in the trolley, it's never a good idea. It's always a good idea to go there with a plan of what you're going to make and exactly what you need, and that you've checked that you don't already have a bottle of soy sauce or, you know, whatever it is at home as well. So a little, you know, 5-10 minutes of planning on the weekend can save you so much money during the week as well, with your meal planning as well. Oh yeah, thanks Shane. Look, he wants to keep me moving. So every month we do Cookidoo lessons. And I will send you an invite to come along to those Cookidoo lessons. And basically, it's a good idea to come along to the Cookidoo lessons because you will learn obviously more about how to use Cookidoo. But we also, at the end of the lesson, share our favourite Cookidoo recipes. So you end up with a whole heap of recipes that have been recommended by other people to you as well, which is really good. Now, using tongs. I love it when it says that when I haven't got my tongs ready. Hang on a sec. I've only got about 15 pairs of tongs there. I've got a lifetime supply of tongs. Okay, so here's our chicken, and we're actually going to grab our chicken out of the Thermomix with tongs. And the reason why we do that is we're actually going to leave the juice in there because that is what continues to be hot, obviously, and cooks our veggies. So there we go, there's our chicken. And I will tell you about this container in a second. Oh, I've got so much happening here with this quick recipe. Rightio, so I've used the tongs. I've put my chicken aside. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to scrape the base of the bowl. It doesn't actually need me to scrape it tonight. So sometimes if there was a little bit of browning on the bowl, you'd want to give it a bit of a scrape so it didn't burn any further onto your bowl, but it didn't have that tonight, so that's good. And now we're going to pop in all the rest of our ingredients. So our eschalot, and our eschalot was meant to be in slices. My bad. Hang on a sec. I thought that this, I get into the habit of always having, you know, being able to put things in whole, but sometimes there might be a recipe step where it's not actually going to chop this up. Actually, look what I'm going to do. I'm not going to dirty my knife and my board. I'm going to put my eschalot in, and I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to go out of the recipe. Look, I'm really free winging it tonight, aren't I? Look, I'm going to go into manual mode and I'm going to chop that up because I don't want to have to get my board out. Hey? Yeah, well, why not, Zoe? How silly of me not to do that. Yes, so we're going to chop it. Anyway, 2 seconds. Let's go back to where we were. No, where am I? Back to my recipe, and here we are. So yes, I've put my eschalot in, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give that a scrape down because obviously it's got shallot all over the side. But look at that. The kids are not even going to be able to know that that's in there because that is well and truly in there. So now my capsicum, I know the rest of this recipe. I have cooked this a million times before. My capsicum goes in, and I've put that into bite-sized pieces because obviously we're just stirring now. Capsicum in, carrot, and look, you could put whatever veggies you wanted in at this point. Snow peas, but you just want to do it in the order that they tell you to because obviously the things at the bottom are a bit harder. We don't want the broccoli at the bottom because it might get broken up too much. And some more olive oil. 20 grams. My scales have come on for me. Oh, there we go. We're right on. Oh, look at that. See that? Oh, see that ticking off that for me? Because I was actually close to the weight, which really doesn't happen very often for me, let's be honest. Because I was close to the weight, it knew what I'd put in and it's going to tick it off for me. So that's good news. Okay, then we go next. And now this is just going to steam these veggies with that liquid that's in here for 5 minutes, and it's going to do that high heat again. So it's going to saute that onion on the bottom or the shallot on the bottom, and then it's going to keep cooking that the juice and the bit of oil and stuff that's in there to then stir fry the veggies. You will notice that the Thermomix is completely quiet. That is on cooking. So if you can hear that, there's nothing to hear. It's completely silent. So it's on gentle cooking, which is one of the completely silent ones. As soon as it starts actually heating up and boiling, you'll hear a bit of a boiling noise. But there's actually no motor noise, which we love about the TM7, which is completely silent. Rightio. Now I want to tell you about the bowl that I put the chicken in. Okay, so we took our chicken that was already cooked and popped it in our thermo server. So these are our brand new thermo servers. Jen, I know you don't even have one of these yet. You've got two? No, not of the new ones you wouldn't. I only have one, and I've only had it for like 2 weeks. These are our new babies. So these are our new and improved thermo server. Basically what it is, it's a double-walled, insulated stainless steel bowl that keeps food hot or cold for 2 hours plus. I think it's even 2 hours, more than 2 hours now with the new design. So if there's a step in the Thermomix where it wants something out, often it'll say put it into a bowl. So getting a thermo server is a good idea. I'll tell you how to get a thermo server. Go to Host Rewards, Rigo. Come on, you should have known where I was going with that. Rightio. So sharing the Thermomix is the only way that you can get yourself a thermo server. So if you, as a Thermomix owner, host a demonstration and just invite 2 people to our next online cooking experience, or one at your home, and they decide to buy, you can get one for free. Or if they don't decide to buy, you can have one for less than half price, $60. Well and truly less, $100 off, for $60. So that's just the thermo servers. Obviously, there's lots of other bits and pieces there. I actually got my vacuum seal set, the vacuum seal jar set today. I popped it on my Instagram story. There is so many jars in that set. It's going to be, I literally could redo my whole pantry here with jars. And they've got like a vacuum sealer that comes with them to suck the air out of the jars. So you could keep nuts and things that sometimes go off because of the air. You could keep those in those jars. So that's a new thing to the mix shop as well. Oh, Joe, you didn't earn it. Oh, well, there'll be always next time. I actually wasn't that excited about them, but when I saw them today, I was like, oh yeah, they're cool. I could see myself having some glass jars rather than my Tupperware, because Tupperware's a little bit Tupperware's a bit old fashioned now, because we can't buy any new Tupperware, and plastic isn't what everyone really wants to be storing stuff in anymore. So who knows? I might change over completely, but yeah, you never know. Anyway, let's talk about how you get a Thermomix, Rigo. Thank you. So we do have lots of payment options, paying it off, coming along and earning it as a consultant, or we also have our Afterpay, PayPal, all of those partners as well. Let me tell you about the next one. I don't mind which one it is. Thanks, darling. So coming along and earning a Thermomix, this is what we're doing at the moment, which is joining us for $0 upfront. Selling 4 Thermomixes in your first 90 days gets you a free Thermomix, and you can see that there's also discounted levels if you only sell 2 or 3 or whatever you sell as well. So that could be an option. What else have we got, Shane? Thank you. Humm is our favourite interest-free option. So just over $25 a week gets you a Thermomix paid off in the 24 months interest-free time through Humm. We also do have Zip, which is works out about the same. So depending on whichever Humm or Zip you want to go with the 24 months interest-free. Next one. This is our extra excellent offer that we've got for our current TM7 owners, or people who've got a TM7 on order. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, that is you, Zoe, and actually also you, Jen. We've already talked about that. So you can join the team for $0 at the moment, and when when a friend buys a Thermomix in your first 30 days, you get the cutter, spiralizer, and bag. The cutter and spiralizer, like I was saying before, hasn't even been released yet. So you're getting that as soon as it comes. You get $260 as a commission, and then you can decide whether you want to stay on the team or move on, or what you want to do. So that is a really good deal for anyone who's got a TM7 already. Rightio, now they're my veggies done. I'm going to transfer them, and I'm going to use my tongs again. I'm going to transfer my veggies now into that. Now look at that. Oh yeah, leave it like that, Shane. Look at that. They're so like beautifully done, and they've got that kind of shallot-y kind of what will I call that? The not sliced shallot. I think it was demolished shallot. Is that how I would describe that, Shane? Shredded shallot. There you go. Gosh, I've got a real play on words tonight, haven't I? Rightio. We'll put all that in here. And what I'm trying to do here is leave as much of that liquid in the bottom, because I'm now going to make the sauce for this stir fry. And this meal we can get done in about 20 minutes flat. So it's a good one. Rightio. You definitely can, yeah, Jen. So these veggies are just how I like them, which is like, oh, Shane, I'm putting it in my mouth. You've got to be on me for that. I went to put it in my mouth, and then he went onto the bench. They're like this. Can you hear that? They're a bit crunchy, but that's just how I like these. But yeah, you definitely, if you wanted to, all you'd have to do, Jen, go to the screen for me, Rigo. All you'd have to do is scroll down and see this step. You'd press the 3 buttons and you'd say set as current step, and you'd hit play again. And that would do it for another 5 if you wanted a whole 5. But you could also tap there and change it if you wanted as well. Yeah, no worries. Right, let me get out of there. Let me go back to here. Transfer into a serving bowl. Yep, that's what I've done. Yes. Why? Oh, because I did that. So I need to skip that step now. I'm like, why isn't it giving me next? Because I went back. Rightio. So go into a thermo bowl. Yep, done that. Scrape down the sides. Scrape the base. I'm going to do that. Oh, I've kicked something here, Shane. What have I done? Oh dear, the wheels are about to fall off. It's about that time of the night. Righto, I've given that a bit of a scrape. You don't really need to worry about that. This is what the TM7 spatula looks like if I hadn't have lost mine. So do not clean the mixing bowl. We wouldn't even dream of it. Now we're going to pop in our things that we're going to use as our sauce, for our sauce. So we're going to put in our ginger and our garlic. So I'm just going to whack all that in. So I've got about that much garlic. And a little hint that I actually learnt at the Skinny Mixers cooking class is when you're doing ginger, you know how like you want that much ginger. I used to just chuck that in maybe in half or just in full. And I was getting like the stringy bits of ginger through my stuff. But Nick's tip was to cut it into discs, and then you've actually cut that string up, because the string is long ways in ginger. So if you cut it into discs, it really blends up a lot better. So I'm trying that, and I have tried it already, but it works really well. So I've remembered to do that tonight. So go next, and now we're just chopping these ingredients up for our sauce. Hit play. Spoon. Okay, scrape down. Tells me on the screen, scrape down, mix the mixing bowl well with the spatula. So I'm going to do that. And as you can see, I've got a little bit of my veggie in here. So you see, I can't really see the green bits, but I've got a few green specks through there, which if you wanted to not have that, you could just make sure and get all your veggies out in that last step. But I actually quite like that, to have a bit of, it just kind of makes a bit more sauce too when you're finished. Radio. So now we're adding our soy sauce. Again, the scales go back to 0 for me, so I can just pour straight in. And I'm going to keep an eye on that. there. Perfect. And some honey. How much honey do I need? 50 grams. See that? It knows that I've ticked that off. Done. Honey. Look at this. I'll try and see if I can get everything right. Oh, a little bit extra honey is okay. See, it doesn't think I've put the honey in because it was thinking, oh gosh, what has she done? Is that the water? What has she done here? Anyway, my Thermomix should probably be getting used to me. You know, like the car, my car does, it knows that I'm not going to run off the road now, so it's got used to me, but the Thermomix hasn't quite got used to my putting a little bit extra in of everything. Now, we're going to put our corn flour in. Now, this is a good tip. When you're putting your corn flour in, you want to make sure, yeah, there, thanks, Shane. You want to put your 2 teaspoons of corn flour beside the blades. Don't chuck them in and have the corn flour on the knobby bit in the middle, because what will happen is you'll finish the step and you will still have corn flour on the middle bit. Okay, so, and then a little bit of water, about that much. I got my spoon in there as well. Tick that, and we go next. And now we're going to cook that off. So 3 minutes, 100 degrees, 3.5. So this is now going to make our sauce for our chicken and our veggies. Shane, what slide have I missed? I did the modes, I did the Cookidoo. What else do I need to do? Oh, thank you. I was waiting for you to answer me, Shane, but you've flicked onto it. Rightio. So our next online demo, and I was going to check when that was. It'll be next month sometime. I'm not sure exactly when it is. But have a look on the link tree. And then the next online demo, you can invite 2 friends to come along, and you will be eligible for the host rewards. If you want to organise a demo before then, just speak to your consultant, and we can always do online demos when it suits you better as well, if 7:30 at night doesn't suit you as well. What are you telling me, Dolly? Oh, good. Okay, excellent. I've thought of everything. That's what I like to hear. Now, we're going to plate this up. Has anybody got any questions for us while we wait for our 3 minutes for our sauce? Oh, I haven't done the registration questions. Oh dear, I got sidetracked tonight. Sorry. Oh, good tip, Joe. Do you mean the ginger tip? I thought it was a brilliant tip. Yeah, it is good, isn't it? Thanks, Joe. Okay, so what's my favourite thing about the TM7? Oh, this changes all the time. What's my what? Oh, stirring. I haven't told you about that. And actually, this is not one of the steps that I can do it. But my favourite thing about the new machine is when it's not going full belt like it is at the moment, you can actually lift the lid and stir, which we've never been able to do that before because our lid used to lock down with arms. So I love stirring. I love the open lid cooking, just because you feel a little bit more like you're doing it. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's probably my favourite thing at the moment. Although I do love egg boil mode. Egg boil mode would be my favourite mode, but my favourite all-time thing is the open lid cooking. Okay. Hey? Pre-clean. Oh, pre-clean. Shane's favourite mode is pre-clean because he's always the one that has to clean up the Thermomix. So if I remember to put it on pre-clean, which reminds me I will do that tonight, Shane, don't let me forget. If I do remember pre-clean, Shane is very happy because he literally can just rinse it out, undo it, and put it straight in the dishwasher. I should mention that all of the bits are 100% dishwasher safe as well. And I didn't show you, I normally show at the start of the demo, but you might have to watch another one, sorry, because it'll be too hot for me to show you when I finish. But basically, to get the blades out, we just slide this little lever here across and pick the bowl out and pick the blades out, and they can go straight in the dishwasher, and Bob's your uncle. Rightio. And now our teriyaki chicken is finished. So we're going to get that sauce. Look at that yummy sauce. That's made our own teriyaki sauce there. So no jars, no packets. A bit of corn flour was probably the worst thing I used tonight. And that's not going to hurt anybody, says Gemma with no nutrition degree. but I think it's completely fine to a bit of corn flour. Rightio, now here we go. We've got our sauce. We're going to put our sauce in there. Make sure that's all out of here. Oh yeah, almond meal. I've used arrowroot flour before. If anyone thinks that's a better option. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stir that through. Make sure my chicken has some sauce on it. Give it a good stir. Wesley's hanging. Oh, whoops. We'll just spread it across the bench. That'll be fine. I'm going to. Hey? You run off. What did you say? Huey? Oh, I give Huey a run for his money, I reckon. Rightio. Now, I'm going to put my lid back on there because I just want to keep that warm for a second because I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to wipe up my bedsheet because it's got teriyaki all over it. And I want to show you what we do with the pre-clean, okay? Oh, dear. And one of my other questions from the registration tonight was, does it really save you money? And yes, it really does because of all the reasons that I've already talked about tonight. But definitely with being able to make a meal like this, giving me a run for my money. Always thought I was Australia's messiest consultant. Oh, thanks, Joe. You know, being able to make something like this in 20 minutes, that saves us money because we really are a family that you don't have to talk us into it very hard to go out for dinner. But being able to make something like this does definitely save us money as well. Angie said nothing's changed. I haven't improved, Angie. No, that's right. So I go to show how easy it is so that everybody else feels like they could do this, okay? That's why, all right? Anyway, back to the screen. So I've put a little bit of water in here. I could put, oh, look, Shane's just told me, Shane's bought me the dishwashing liquid because he'd really like me to put some dishwashing liquid in. So I'm going to put, oh, this is a new packet, Shane. This is a new one. You didn't work that out real well, darling. I haven't used this one down here yet. Righto. Let me just get that off. Look at this. This is riveting television, isn't it? You love the fact that you can remove multiple machines from the bench. Oh, absolutely, Zoe. What have you got on your bench at the moment? One drop is all you need, okay, of this. Okay, well, definitely slow cooker and rice cooker, you definitely can. Rice cooker especially. Make sure you watch my perfect boiled rice video. Go here, go pre-clean, and then you tell it how dirty the Thermomix is. Mine is not very dirty, so I'm just going to say quick tonight, okay? And then I'm going to press play. So now, while you're having dinner, are you going to come back to me, Shane, or are we just going to watch that screen? While you're having dinner, for the first 2 minutes, probably serving out dinner, the Thermomix is actually cleaning itself now, okay? So as soon as that's finished, I'll show you what happens. I'll plate up and show you how delicious this looks. It's a wonder Wes isn't going to come through that door and grab this first plated up lot of food too, because he is hungry. Rightio. So there you go. Look at this. So as you can see, 2 thigh fillets, like I said, there's definitely, like, that's already got a plate out. You can see how much is there. I don't know if you can, but it's some sesame seeds. I need to take a photo of this. I need to get my cloth and wipe the side. This is really, Zoe's probably too young Zoe and Angie are probably too young to remember Huey, but Jen, you'll know who I'm talking about, won't you? Do you remember Huey that wipes the plate? Oh, Joe, you're never too old for Huey. He was on Better Homes and Gardens or something. Ian Hewitson. Can you come back to me, Shane? Because now everyone's just looking at the bench. And I actually cut myself when I took that lid off that stuff. That's a very sharp knife. Anyway, my pre-clean is done. So I'll show you. Shane, why are we on the bench again? Get off the bloody... Shane's really impressed with himself of putting a camera in the roof and he just wants to get his money's worth out of it. rightio. There you go. Oh, you might need the roof camera.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, show us the roof camera, Rigo. There you go. Rightio. So there you go. So that's done a pre-clean. So that's pretty well ready just to go straight in the dishwasher. But I'll show you quickly how it comes apart. So we unhook here and we lift that out. And like I said, it's not actually that hot now, but you couldn't do this straight after you're cooking. You'd want to let it just cool down a little bit. This bit actually doesn't need to get cleaned, but you can put it in the dishwasher if you want, but it's not dirty. It doesn't touch the food. It only gets dirty if you've got dirty hands and you put dirty fingerprints all over it. And then you just take the blade out, and then that's how that goes. And you drip it all over the bench, yeah. But that just literally, look at this. Shane, I'm even going to pack the dishwasher myself tonight. Oh, God, I'm good to you, mate. There you go. And that just goes straight in the dishwasher. And that's how easy it is to clean up after your dinner. How's that? Actually, and then I'll also put the lid in. Rightio. So that is our chicken teriyaki. Let me show everyone on the recording how that turned out. Shane, you want to do your top camera? There you go. That's that. Done. You can say goodbye to the people on the recording and we'll have question time.